Introduction. Globalization has profoundly impacted national identities by blending cultures, economies, and political systems. This interconnectedness influences how individuals and societies perceive themselves and their cultural heritage. Understanding these effects helps to appreciate the complexities of national identity in a globalized world. Cultural exchange and integration. Globalization facilitates the exchange of cultural practices, ideas, and traditions across borders. This exposure can enrich national cultures by incorporating diverse elements, leading to hybrid identities that blend local and global influences. For instance, global cuisine and fashion often mix traditional and international styles, creating new cultural expressions. Erosion of traditional boundaries. As cultures merge, traditional national boundaries may blur. The proliferation of global media and digital communication exposes people to a wide array of cultures and values, sometimes diluting distinct national characteristics. This can lead to a gradual erosion of traditional cultural practices and identities. Economic globalization and identity. Economic globalization affects national identities by influencing economic structures and employment patterns. The rise of multinational corporations and global trade often shifts local industries and job markets. This can impact national identity as people adapt to new economic realities and cultural influences from international businesses. Political implications. Globalization also affects national identities through political integration and international cooperation. Global institutions and agreements, such as the United Nations and trade pacts, encourage nations to collaborate and align their policies with global standards. This can influence national priorities and identity by emphasizing shared goals over distinct national interests. Impact on local communities. Local communities experience globalization in diverse ways. While some embrace global influences, others resist them to preserve traditional practices and values. This dynamic can create tension between global and local identities, as communities navigate the balance between embracing modernity and maintaining cultural heritage. Youth and global culture. The younger generation is often at the forefront of cultural globalization. Exposure to global media, technology, and travel influences their values, behaviors, and identities. This can lead to a more cosmopolitan outlook but may also challenge traditional notions of national identity, as young people adopt and adapt global trends. Nationalism and resistance. In response to globalization, some countries experience a resurgence of nationalism. Efforts to reaffirm national identity and preserve cultural heritage can arise as a reaction to perceived threats from global influences. This resistance highlights the tension between global integration and the desire to maintain distinct national identities. Globalization and cultural preservation. Despite the challenges, globalization also offers opportunities for cultural preservation. Digital platforms and global networks enable the documentation and dissemination of cultural practices and languages, helping to sustain and promote traditional identities in a global context. Conclusion. Globalization has a multifaceted impact on national identities, blending cultures, influencing economic and political structures, and affecting local and global perceptions. While it can lead to the erosion of traditional boundaries, it also provides opportunities for cultural exchange and preservation. Understanding these dynamics helps to appreciate the evolving nature of national identities in a globalized world.